Write that on your mirror. Write that on the sticky note at your job and put that shit on your job and keep it moving. Remember, dick don't run you. You run the dick. Okay? Use the baddest bitch. YouTube, what's up, baby? It's me, Blake Dupree. You know, I'm staying a little consistent. I got y'all video 2 days ago. Go run this shit up. But I'm back again. I was chilling this weekend. A lot of y'all don't know I took like a couple days off from work, so this is day one. And I got tomorrow off. I had the weekend off and I had Friday off. So I'm just like trying to rest, rejuvenate, reset, because Lord knows work is waiting on me around the fucking corner. But I still want to be productive. Like, I just cannot ever just sit in my house and just watch TV all day. That's just not me. It just ain't me. I just need to accept the fact that that will never be me. I will never be that girl in that aspect. And whoever told me I was or could be was lying. I'm not flying in that sense. I'm not a fly girl in that sense. But hey, at least I get to create some content. And I went to Lollapalooza Saturday. Doechii is up next. I don't care what nobody says. Sabrina Carpenter is up next for songwriting. And yeah, that's really all I got to say about that. Oh, Tyler Creator is still fine as hell, but I don't know if he's into men of my certain hue. But speaking of men of my certain hue, there was a content creator by the name of Okami. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And he basically made a little TikTok about, having resentment towards women because they receive a love that gay men can never receive. And I just want to play it for y'all real quick, and then we'll come back and chop it up.
Not to sound like a pick me at all, I'm just being real as fuck, but at some point during my early 20s, as quickly as I found or attempted to find my way into gay spaces and try to find community in other queer spaces and specifically make gay friends and date and things like that, I got out of those spaces for a lot of reasons. But the main thing that really turned me off from gay culture and just the mindset of gay men nowadays was gay men constantly telling me that I need to stop seeking the love that straight women get from straight men. That was so weird to hear for me at every point in my life. Like at every stage of development, I revisit that sentiment, and it just never clicked for me. It never made sense to me. I never resonated with the ideology that because I don't have a uterus, because I am not a woman, because I don't present feminine, I don't get the love that straight women get. And it's almost like they put emphasis on the fact that I can't bear children, so a man will never love me the way that I see women are loved. And I used to compare myself a lot to straight women, and that made me build a lot of resentment towards men, because I saw how when a man wanted to, he's extremely kind and forthcoming with a woman that he's actually attracted to. But I had never received that kindness, that gentleness from a man. Men were always very direct and I don't like you, but I'm going to pretend to like you and take advantage of you. And then once I get what I want, I'm going to immediately ghost you. I'm going to immediately start hurting you to get you away from me. But then I would see, it would actually make me so angry when I see men, I'd be working at a grocery store and I see a young couple, in their 20s and 30s. It'd be a man and a woman. And the man is so nice to the woman. And the man, they'll have a child. I'm like, why doesn't a man treat me like that? Why doesn't a man, see me worthy of kindness and fellowship and romance and love? What is it about a woman that has a uterus that, she deserves that love, but I don't because I don't have a uterus? And tying it back, gay men truly do, it's almost like queer love, specifically gay love, is like a dupe version of romance, of actual love. At least that's what it feels like gay men see love as. We're just performing love, but we're two men, so we can't actually love each other. We can't produce. I hear a lot of, especially, oh my god, this is gonna be everywhere, but just hear me out. When the whole inception of bi erasure happened, I had a fear of bi men for a completely different reason than y'all did. I had a fear of bi men because every interaction that I had with a bisexual man, I was very clearly fetishized, for lack of a better word, for just a sex toy. Every interaction I've ever had with a bisexual man, their view on their romantic attraction was, I have sex with men, I love women. And they'll do all the things with men, but they will straight up tell me to my face, I won't date you because I want the quintessential wife and kids. That was so disgusting to hear to me, because I'm especially as someone who doesn't want kids, I'm what the fuck is this kid thing? What is this uterus thing? What is this bear children thing that is that makes love so exclusive? The most I'll ever be is a sex toy to most men. And of course, I'm not saying that all gay men think like this. I don't but I now have to move or maneuver through my sexuality and my romantic attraction with the idea that there's a difference between a gay man and a man who just so happens to like other men in some capacity. It feels because I don't have a uterus, I don't get adventure, I don't get intimacy, I don't get spiritual connection. All I basically am is a consistent booty call. And hearing that from gay men, that I need to stop seeking the love that a straight woman get. For a long time, it made me resent straight women and straight men and just heterosexuality in general, because it's oh, that's the love I want, but I'm not heterosexual, so I'll never have it. That's so fucking weird to me. And I've always hated children all my life, just because it's a child. What is there to like about a child? And it made me hate children even more during this period, because a child to me was a symbol of love, was a trophy of oh, we really love each other, and I'll never have that love. A man will never love me like that because I can't produce children. Or at least that's what the gays attempt to indoctrinate me into believing. It's so fucking weird.
First of all, before we continue, if you think that you're finna come up in my videos and comments and be a safe space for queerphobia, homophobia, any of the phobias, out the door, you guys to go, bitch. Second of all, I want to thank this person for being open and honest, especially when it comes to talking about a seemingly taboo topic, especially within the Black and queer community, but taking it to TikTok and keeping it real with us about how he feels about bisexual men having resentment towards straight women, having resentment towards his inner self. It seems like there is a little bit of self-hatred there. I could be wrong, but just thank you for keeping it real and being honest and posting that shit, because it is what it is. I do have some notes. That's why I got my glasses on. Some of the viewpoints I can honestly relate to. Not even gonna lie, I definitely have a part of me that is probably biphobic myself. I know I just told y'all don't be biphobic, but for some of the same reasons that he stated that he was biphobic, I am somebody who believes that if I'm talking to a bisexual man, he's gonna leave me for a woman eventually, if he already has a plan to. And I'll explain why and later, in further detail, later on in this video. But I really want to get into the first one. The first note that I have, when he mentioned that his introduction to gay and queer spaces didn't last long as far as having a positive one. And I really want to encourage us to seek a mother, seek a real mentor. And I want to seek my mothers and my elders and my aunts and my uncles within the gay community to A, leave the toxic shit alone. You too grown for that. B, take more gays under your wing and show them that there is more to life than just Jack'd and Grindr and finding relationships. I really do feel like we need to bring back the urgency for community and brotherhood and sisterhood within the LGBTQ, instead of just finding a partner. There's so much more to being queer than finding your soulmate, finding your love, finding your hookup, finding your Grindr, your Jack, your Sniffies mate for the night. There used to be, in my opinion, a stronger sense of unity within the community when we had less rights, when we had less resources, when we had less representation in media. I feel like there was a shift maybe after the 2010s. And like I said, I'm 25. I'm just going based off what I see from my studies and historical context. It shifted from fighting for civil rights and fighting for a better life for all under the rainbow umbrella to finding love. And I feel like we can do both. You know, it's very possible to find love. It is very possible to advocate for community at the same time. And that is the first note I had, because he said that his experience within the gay culture was a negative one. And I'm like, well, baby, I think you just met the wrong gays. You didn't meet anybody to guide you. You didn't have anybody to guide you. And often we don't, because of the HIV and AIDS epidemic has taken a lot of our mentors out of the game. It's taken a lot of what could have been a big brother, big sister, big they, them. Unfortunately, they lost their life. You know, I have people in my life, that's all I can say, people in my life who died from symptoms of AIDS. I don't know if I can say it too many times on here without getting my video striked, who died from symptoms of that epidemic. And to this day, only I know that they died from symptoms of this epidemic. And that breaks my heart, because not only did, in my opinion, did they die prematurely, they died with the world not knowing that they were a part of a beautiful community, and unfortunately were just victims of something that they shouldn't have been, because they were a part of a beautiful community. And those people that were in my life were part of the LGBTQ. And the reason that people told them that they died from brain cancer, aneurysm, something crazy, was because their elders were ashamed of them being a part of the community. You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm going here? You know, it's bad enough that they died prematurely. Now we're saying their cause of death was a lie, because there was shame associated with being a part of the LGBTQ community. And I want to send a special shout out to them. Rest in peace forever. I miss y'all so much. I love you all so much. The next note that I had, he said that it turned me off from gay culture. Like I said, we not a monolith either. I think you just met the wrong gays, Pookie. You said that this experience turned you off from gay culture. Gay culture is so layered. It's like an onion from Shrek. You feel what I'm saying? Like, me being gay doesn't mean that the person down the hall in my condo who's also gay doesn't mean we're going to have certain beliefs. Don't mean we even gonna dress the same. We're not gonna look the same. You know, I was having a talk with my daddy the other day, right? And me and my dad, we talk like brothers almost. So we were talking about some things that I can't really disclose, but he found out during this conversation that I was a bottom. And he was like, wait, you're a bottom? I was like, yeah, daddy. Like, for real. He's like, but you don't sound like a bottom. I'm like, girl, yes, I do. First of all. But he was like, you don't dress like a bottom. I was like, I mean, the fuck, it's a chain and a fucking t-shirt. Like, what does a bottom dress like? And I was like, Dad, did you assume that bottoms are always more feminine presenting in the way they dress and the way they talk? He was like, yeah. I was like, that's not always the case. You know, I know some femme queens who are 6'6", but they nails done, acrylic toes, crop top, and a plaited skirt on their worst day, and they will femme top the shit out of me. Okay, I know some 8'11" boys, football, NFL quarterbacks, full bottoms. Like, we are still struggling with associating our levels of femininity and masculinity, what we prefer sexual wise. And that's within our community too, not just on the straights versus the gays, but a lot of gays assume that, oh, if you femme, you top. I mean, oh, if you femme, you a bottom, and oh, if you mash, you're a top. That's not always the case. Can we retire this narrative today? Baby just needs a new set of gays in his life. Some elders, some non-toxic elders. That's what baby needs as well. Okay. And so when Okami was told that he needed to stop seeking the love that straight women get, once again, I really want to hone in on the fact that it is possible to find love within your experiences as a gay man. You just need to surround yourself with more gays. I don't know who are these gays that you are referring to, but they don't seem like they're the best for your mental health. And as somebody who, I'm 5'7", I got a lot of jiggle. Some may say I pertain to Western standards of beauty. I believe that I don't. I have found love in once in my life. I was in a relationship for 4 years, and for the most part, it was beautiful. This man opened the door for me. This man sent me paragraphs. This man would send me money. This man would show his love and affection for me in public and in private. This man encouraged my goals, encouraged my dreams, wanted me to go to college, wanted me to finish college, and I did all of that as well. And we took on the responsibility of love at such a young age, and I have so much respect for him to this day that even though it didn't work out, I will always have love in my heart because we decided to be responsible with love. And people don't realize that love is a responsibility. It's not just an emotion. To love somebody outside of your bloodline, first of all, is a responsibility. And I just want you to know it is possible for you to have that responsibility one day. I don't know how old this person is, but he sounds like myself when I was 15, 14, 16. You know, some people, they have their gay awakening later in life. And I feel like this person is now having their gay awakening where like your gay frontal lobe develops and like you really start seeing shit for what it was and what it is now, and that everything is a facade. A lot of this love that straight women are receiving, they're envying us for receiving that same love from a homeboy aspect. And I really want us to remember the center from the D, because men truly love themselves, okay? A lot of niggas, I'm gonna be so real with y'all, they only love themselves, and if you're lucky, you'll find a man who loves his kids too. A lot of men are narcissists. A lot of us are dealing with narcissists, both on the women aspect and the men aspect. The thing that we have in common is that we both like niggas. And we thinking that the men who like other women, they giving women love, and women thinking they giving the men love. They falling in love with their homeboys. They falling in love with their baby mamas. No, y'all, let me be so real with you. A man will love himself first before anything else. And if you're blessed enough to find a man that take care of responsibilities, he's gonna love his kids. You know the saying, oh, he's a great dad but terrible husband. Yeah, that rings true. That comes from something, because a man will fuck a horse. Don't mean he love a horse, but he gonna love on himself and love his kids. A lot of niggas is narcissists. They are incapable of love on both ends, regardless of sexuality. They are incapable of being intimate, regardless of sexuality. They are incapable of being vulnerable, regardless of sexuality. We need to stop pitting men who like men and women who like men against each other. And we need to start focusing on the men and focusing on their faults, and why we need to center our daily lives from finding affection from things that are unable to be affectionate. Like, there are good men out there, y'all. I promise you there are. Hi. But in the meantime, I'm not going to harp on not having a good man. I'm going to harp on being a better man for myself and being a better man for the world. And women can do the same thing. And I promise you, life will get better. You will find the love that you desire. But you don't need to center your whole life around that desire, okay? Now we're going to get into like the biphobia of it all. And I don't even know if I should call it biphobia, because I don't have a phobia of bisexual men. My guard is just up, just like Okami's guard is up in the video. I have been told verbatim exactly what he's been told. Just last week, I matched with a dude on Hinge. He was looking for friends, and he mentioned that he is attracted to men and women, but he will never see himself in a relationship with a man. He said this verbatim. He said that I love women too much, and I want kids, and I want a wife, and I will never see myself in a relationship with a man. And I said, oh, okay, well, we can be cool, but good to know. I will never get my feelings caught up with you. Were we physically intimate? That's none of your business. But even if I chose to disclose yes or no, just know I will always have my guard up, and I will see you for where you're at. I'm not going to catch feelings. I'm not going to catch sources. I'm not going to do any of the things that you might think I may do because I'm a gay man who only sees men. baby, I'm the shit in real life. So you can go ahead and like all the women you want. Good luck with that booking you speak of. Like Rihanna said, good luck booking that stage you speak of. Good luck on your endeavors. Good luck on mine. And we can keep it cordial because I've dissented myself from the D. I don't say, ooh, pick me, pick me. Oh, I'll be the one to change you. I don't give a fuck. You want to do what you do, I'm going to do what I do. Period. We're both going to be stubborn and selfish in this game together, and I'm going to end the game probably before you choose to end the game. It just is what it is. You have to take men sometimes for face value. Like Cher said, a man is a tool. Use it, put it back in the drawer, keep it moving. Be your own man sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely get it. Like when I am seriously involved in a talking stage with a guy who is bisexual, it does cross my mind that he is probably going to prioritize being with a woman the minute he meets a good woman. I was talking with my best friend the other day and I asked him about it. I was like, hey, you are a bisexual guy. First of all, my best friend doesn't even talk about his endeavors with women with me because I am a little biphobic. I ain't gonna hold you because I'm like, I don't want to hear that. Get the bisexual shit off the TV. I don't want to hear about you and PP and BB. Get it off the TV now. But I asked him, I said, do you kind of see what he's saying? He was like, yeah, because even though I date men, I'm open to dating men, unlike the guy who I mentioned on Hinge. He sees himself long term with a woman. And I'm like, okay, well, why is that? Because you have, and from my experiences with you, my knowledge of you, you have seriously been in a relationship with two guys. He was like, yeah, I have, but you have to understand it is socially acceptable for me to be with a woman in ways that it will never be socially acceptable for me to be with a man. And that's what I think Okami is misconstruing, that love is just social acceptance. You're seeing that man and that woman in that grocery store. He has his hand on her shoulder. He's picking up her Ben and Jerry's. He knows her favorite flavors. She knows his favorite color. She knows his favorite protein powder. He knows her favorite color of rose. He knows her favorite flour. He knows her favorite cereal. She knows he only likes unsweetened almond milk. Yeah, that shit is handy dandy and cool, but best believe behind closed doors, they're probably going through more problems than you, being single in your room, crying for a nigga who don't even know you exist. We have to know that comparison is the thief of joy. Stop comparing your shit to other people, especially other bitches you don't even know their last name. You sit up in the grocery store having resentment towards a woman, and you didn't even know she probably crying herself to sleep in the closet at night because she knows deep down her man don't love her. Her man cheating on her with every bitch on the block. It's just he gave her that special moment in time for the grocery store to make her feel special. I don't know when it's going to seep into the heads of most creators and most people that you have to understand all this shit is a facade, not just on the digital basis, but in the physical sense too. I've seen the happiest of couples from high school to college to post college. They are happiest in public, and then a couple months later, she come out the closet of her being a victim of domestic violence for 10 years, or he come out the closet of him being a gay man and not even liking her for real. We have to stop comparing ourselves to others, even when it comes to relationships. Don't always say, I wish I had what they had, because God might give it to you. And now look at you, stuck, stupid, and bruised. So a lot of times what we see as love is just, it's more socially acceptable, baby. And I promise you, as a gay man who has been through it all, I have also experienced love as a part of that all. And it is very possible for you to find love. Like I said, love is capable for all, in my opinion. My mama always told me that there is somebody out there for you. And I strongly believe that. I just seen a video of a gay couple, two black, beautiful gay men, 78 and 76. They have been together for 30 years. That means they met in their 40s. Like, we just think that by 30, oh, it's not going to happen for me. It never happened for me. No. My aunt got married at 40 years old and is still happily married with her husband in Georgia. My mother in a very nice relationship now. Very nice guy. I wish nothing but the best for them. I'm hoping one day that they can get married. And my mother's in her mid-40s. Love don't stop at the age 30, y'all. Like, we need to be patient. We need to practice patience. And like I said earlier, we need to also reprioritize that community, brotherhood, sisterhood, and unity that we once had that I feel like is fading away the more being gay becomes normalized. Now, I will say, we are going into another age of conservatism. And conservatism often means we're going to other some other people. So the more that our rights are getting targeted, the more that our lives are getting targeted, a pro of that is we may have that sense of unity back that we once had when we were fighting for marriage and we were fighting through the HIV and AIDS epidemic and we were fighting for equal rights on the legal side and being able to adopt children and have children. we may see that make a comeback, and hopefully when it comes back it stays, and we also can find time to balance out and check out some time, to find love. You might be fighting for your rights and find your soulmate at the same time. I'm a bad bitch. See how I put them two together? See how I put two and two together? Exactly. Same way men who are attracted to men but only date women, there are straight men who do the same thing. They will have sex with a certain demographic of female and have sex with a certain type of girl, but only date another type of girl. That's just what men do. That's just what a lot of women do. People do that in general. So don't feel like this is only a gay versus straight women scenario, because men will do that to anybody. Man will fuck a horse. Don't mean he's only exclusively dating horses too. I think we need to learn how to reciprocate energy in those senses. And oftentimes, reciprocating energy just means blocking a nigga. A man you into says some shit like this, you block him, move on. There is a man out there for you, baby. I promise you. And that's the biggest message I want you to personally take if you ever see this video. And I want everybody else to truly be censored from the D. Okay? Dick don't run me. I run dick. Megan really dropped a line with that shit. Like, take that. Write that on your mirror. Write that on the sticky note at your job and put that shit on your job and keep it moving. Remember, dick don't run you. You run the dick. Okay? Use the baddest bitch. So whatever it is that you want to be, make sure you look in the mirror and be like, yeah, I am that. Because you've been that. Follow me everywhere, especially on TikTok. Dupree the Artist. I'm an artist. I got some music out. It's called Let Out. Go listen to that shit now. Till next time, y'all. Love you.
Molly and Randy, a black gay couple in their golden years.
And the kind of love that I have with him doesn't compare to anything I've ever had with anybody else. So that's why I know that this is the one.
That's how I know this is the one.
If there was one statement or thing that you both could say to each other, what would you say to each other?
I would say a quote from my favorite poem: "Loving you has been a religious experience."
You know what? I'm going to say ditto. Because that says everything.
All the upliftings, all the sexual energy, the emotional energy that you would experience in a church when the choir was singing and it was lifting you up. That's what I mean by religious experience. That's what this relationship is like.